Am I being detained?
You're being questioned.
For what crime?
Where are you coming from? Who do you know on the street? Why are you out this
I
late?
live here.
Don't get smart with me. Control your dog.
My dog is calmer than you are.
You people always
You
think you
people, I'm
know.
done. Arrest me or let me go.
Some stories don't start with sirens. They start with silence. A quiet street, a calm evening, and a woman doing absolutely nothing wrong. But sometimes, that's all it takes. Because when prejudice wears a badge, innocence becomes suspicious. And tonight's story proves one terrifying truth. Racism doesn't ask questions, it assumes. Before we begin, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it with someone who believes justice should be blind. And when this story ends, comment your thoughts below. Because conversations about racism only matter when we're brave enough to have them. Now listen closely, because this officer thought he was in control until he stopped the wrong woman. The sun was just beginning to dip behind the trees in Brookfield Heights, one of those neighborhoods where everything looked perfect on the surface. Manicured lawns, white fences, expensive silence. Dr. Naomi Carter walked calmly down the sidewalk, a leather leash in her hand, her golden retriever, Milo, padding happily beside her. Naomi was 42, poised, soft-spoken, and black. She wore simple jogging pants, a gray hoodie, and sneakers. No robe, no title, no hint that by day she presided over the futures of broken families. To the world right now, she was just another black woman in the wrong place. She checked her watch. She had court early the next morning. Then she heard it. A slow engine, crawling. The patrol car rolled beside her. Too slow to be casual. Too deliberate to be coincidence. Officer Mark Reynolds sat behind the wheel. Mid-30s. 10 years on the force. A reputation for being old school. His eyes scanned Naomi like a searchlight. He didn't wave. Didn't smile. He leaned out the window. "Hey, you live around here?" Naomi stopped walking. "Yes," she said calmly. Reynolds glanced at Milo, then back at her. "Funny. We've had reports of suspicious activity." Naomi raised an eyebrow. Suspicious. People casing homes. Walking dogs as cover. There it was. The lie racism always tells. "I'm not racist, I'm just cautious." Naomi felt her chest tighten, but her voice stayed steady. "I'm just walking my dog." Reynolds stepped out of the car, hand hovering near his belt. "ID. Am I being detained?" Naomi asked. Reynolds scoffed. "You're being questioned." "For what crime?" He didn't answer. Instead, he circled her slowly, like she was something to inspect. "Where are you coming from? Who do you know on this street? Why are you out this late?" Naomi answered once. "I live here." That irritated him. "Don't get smart with me." Milo growled softly. Reynolds snapped, "Control your dog." Naomi tightened the leash. "My dog is calmer than you are." That was the moment. Reynolds' jaw clenched. "You people always think you're entitled." Silence dropped like a bomb. Naomi stared at him. "You people," she repeated quietly. Reynolds realized too late what he'd said. "I didn't mean." "Yes, you did," Naomi said. She took a breath. "I'm done answering questions. Either arrest me or let me go." Reynolds' pride was now on the line. He reached for his radio. Neighbors began to peek through windows. Phones came out. Reynolds raised his voice on purpose. "Ma'am, you are being uncooperative." Naomi laughed once. A sharp, bitter sound. "Uncooperative for walking my dog." He ordered her to sit on the curb. She refused. That's when he did it. He grabbed her wrist. Milo barked. Reynolds drew his taser halfway. The street froze. Naomi's voice cut through the tension like glass. "Officer, I strongly suggest you remove your hand." "And why is that?" he sneered. She met his eyes. "Because you are about to make the biggest mistake of your career." Reynolds laughed. "Is that a threat?" "No," Naomi said calmly. "It's a warning." She reached slowly into her pocket. Reynolds tensed. She pulled out a leather wallet. Inside, a state-issued ID, not a driver's license, a judicial credential. Reynolds blinked. Once. Twice. His face drained of color. Han Naomi Carter, family court judge. The street went silent. Phones zoomed in. Reynolds stammered. I didn't know. Naomi cut him off. That's the problem. Backup arrived. A supervising officer stepped out. Judge Carter. Yes. Reynolds tried to explain. She matched a description. There was no description, Naomi said. You assumed. She turned to the crowd. To everyone recording, please don't stop. Reynolds' supervisor pulled him aside. Naomi spoke again, firm, measured, devastating. You questioned me without cause. You detained me without reason. You used racial language. And you escalated a non-existent situation. She stepped closer. And the only reason this stopped is because of my title. Reynolds couldn't look at her. The next morning, Internal Affairs opened an investigation. The video went viral. Civil rights attorneys lined up. Reynolds was placed on administrative leave. But Naomi knew the truth. There were hundreds of women like her, without credentials, without protection, without a camera. She returned to court that week. And on her bench sat cases about broken homes, custody battles, and abused children. She looked at the seal above her seat and whispered, "This system has to do better." Racism isn't always loud. Sometimes it sounds like a question, a stop, a "where do you live?" And sometimes it only backs down when it meets power. But justice shouldn't require a title. If this story moved you, like this video, subscribe for more real stories. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And most importantly, comment below. Backhand index pointing right. Was this officer doing his job or abusing his power? Backhand index pointing right. How many people never get justice because they're not important enough? Let's talk. Because silence is exactly what racism depends on.